The 2019 Sunshine Swing may well be looked back on in years to come as the start of Canada's global tennis domination. Although Denis Shapovalov's breakthrough had come long before his run to a third Masters 1000 quarterfinal in Miami, the 19-year-old has now been joined in the top 50 in the rankings by two of his compatriots. Bianca Andreescu stormed her way past several prominent WTA stars to win a first premier mandatory title at Indian Wells, while her fellow 18-year-old Felix Auger-Aliassime has reached a first Masters 1000 quarterfinal in Miami, having come through qualifying. Auger-Aliassime may not be done yet, of course. Indeed, following world number 1 Novak Djokovic's exit on Tuesday, the top half of the draw looks rather open. But regardless of his results from here on in, he will join Andreescu in making his top 50 debut in the month of March. Both started the year outside of the top 100. The current world No. 57 is somewhat different to his fellow young Canadian chums. Shapovalov and Andreescu are both huge shot makers, whereas there's an air of serene solidity about Auger-Aliassime. That's not to say he's not capable of the spectacular, far from it. The jumping double-handed backhand down the line during a win against Stefanos Tsitsipas remains this tennis correspondent's favorite shot of 2019 thus far. But while Shapovalov has, in the past at least, lost matches of his own accord when not firing on all cylinders, there's a sense that one would always have to beat his compatriot. Auger-Aliassime / Felix Dennis, movie camera at Tennis TV, pic.twitter.com/P7OPM2B4WK, doublefault28 at doublefault28, March 9, 2019. Expanding the comparison beyond just Canadians, Auger-Aliassime does appear to have a cooler head than many of his fellow next-gen stars. Tsitsipas and Alexander Zverev are among those whose angry outbursts seem to be regularly simmering just beneath the surface. It won't have escaped the attention of many avid tennis followers that Auger-Aliassime shares a birthday with one of the most mentally calm operators of all time, Roger Federer. In the same manner Federer often keeps his emotions under wraps, there's a sense that Auger-Aliassime has a similar philosophy when it comes to on-court behavior. Not to mention the steely underbelly of a champion. The elder statesman of the sport, Federer's outbursts have been kept to a relative minimum throughout his career, and Auger-Aliassime's cool external demeanor could boil down to the immense pressure that has weighed on his shoulders from a young age. Auger-Aliassime's rise has been well documented in tennis circles. He was the first player to win an ATP Challenger Tour main draw match as a 14-year-old, became the youngest player since Rafael Nadal to make his top 200 debut just over a month into his 17th year, and was the youngest player to reach the final of an ATP 500 event when he excelled in Rio last month. He believes the spotlight from a young age has allowed him to produce exceptional results this early into his career. "I have been dealing with this for the past couple of years," Auger-Aliassime said after his 7-6, 7-4, 6-4 win over Georgia's Nicolas Basilashvili. "So I think in a way that's why I am able now to have these kind of results, because this extra pressure, this attention that I gave maybe last year or the year before to the outcomes, to the media, that's a bit behind me now, where I am able really to stay in the present and really focus on what I have to do in the court, finding ways to win." His big-time mentality is possibly best summed up by his record against top 20 players. Auger-Aliassime has won all 4 of his meetings with players at that ilk in straight sets. World number 13 born at George will look to end that record on Wednesday. Of this big three, Novak Djokovic is perhaps the most comparable in playing style, particularly with regards to his ability to slide on a hard court. His athleticism is impressive, and particularly notable in defense, but he has enough power to dictate play behind his serve, which he hit 13 aces behind against Basilashvili. As he's only 18, it's reasonable to believe he will generate even more speed off both the serve and the ground in years to come. The 18-year-old's movement is so exceptional that it's rare to see him off balance when striking the ball, which allows him to pin back opponents with his ground strokes, and while he may not rush to the net as often as the likes of say Tsitsipas, he is up there. Indeed, he won all 5 points when he came forward against the Georgian. He boasts natural on-court intelligence, and his methodical and patient approach to building points will serve him well, especially on clay and hard courts. But it's the stable mentality to go with his stable game that may end up setting him apart. Solid of shot, solid of mind. Capable of the sublime, but more importantly taking care of the routine. It's a combination that should see him go far, although there are always pitfalls, both physical and mental, along the way. His contest with close friend Shapovalov at last year's US Open was a stark reminder that nothing is a guarantee in this sport. Auger-Aliassime was forced to retire midway through the third set of the All-Canadian affair due to heart palpitations, a problem that has occurred previously in his youth. A tearful Auger-Aliassime was consoled by his compatriot as he threw in the towel, with the tennis world left watching on in fear at the prospect of one of the most exciting talents seeing his career prematurely ended by the most vital of organs. Those fears appear to have been misplaced, and Shapovalov's words of comfort that day will live long in the memory. "I told him at the net, we're going to be back here, and we're going to have so many of these. That you'll be back and we'll be playing finals here, with both on the rise. Don't bet against seeing an All-Canadian Grand Slam final in the not-too-distant future."